guys, it's your boy Lammy C and I'm back again with another Dii Platform. Just want to say a big thanks to Shannon for letting us do it again. I know it's been a while. You guys have missed me, but yo, we're here with my brother.
Yes, G.
My boy.
Yes, G.
Legacy, what are you saying, G?
Doing good, fam. I'm doing good, bro.
Round of applause for Legacy, man. Round of applause for Legacy in the studio, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Happy to be here, man. Happy to be here.
You know, how's the music, man? How's things going?
Good, man. Like, obviously we're in, well, I don't know if we can still call this quarantine, but it's eye-opening, man, because, like, even though, like, a lot of negatives have happened, like, there's definitely some positives that come out of this. So, like, you know, you get time to spend little things with your family more. Like, for me, like, it was always been a thing where, do you know when, like, you always had something that you needed to do, but you've always put it on the back burner?
Yeah.
So, like, I felt like now I've had this opportunity to, like, do little things, like, even though they're not the biggest things in the world, just do them, and, like, yeah, man, I'm good. I feel like I'm in a decent space right now, so. Yeah, man, I'm breathing, so life can't be that bad, you know. Them ones.
Of course, man. Have to be positive, man. Even in the darkness.
Yeah, man.
Have to be positive, man. So how's the music? What's going on with the music, man? Because I know you've been absent a bit, man. You've been in and out of the music.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why you've been in and out?
I think it's just down to me and just my personality, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Like, I'm just kind of elusive, so, like, I'll be there and then I won't be there. And that's something that I am trying to work on. But, like, I've always said that, you know, like, I am still there in the studio. So, like, even though you might not hear nothing, doesn't mean that I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
So, like,
so is that you telling us, like, you've got, like, Bear in the bank, Bear in the library?
I've got a few in the chamber, fam.
Jeez, man's been labbing it out, you know.
Yeah, fam. I've got a few in the chamber. I've got one tune that hopefully should come out end of this month.
Okay.
Called Carve Your Own. Yeah, man, you have to look forward to that.
Defo.
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to build towards maybe an EP. We'll have to see and just see where the wind blows and see what type of projects I'm putting out. But I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just take it, you know, one step at a time. So
yeah, of course.
One single after another single after another single. If people are feeling it, then, you know, we'll see what we do from there and just carry on, man.
Fair enough, man. Well, we're gonna get into a couple questions, man.
Yeah, man.
Just so the audience can get to know who you are.
Yeah, man.
So, what's your rap name?
Legacy.
And how long have you been doing music for?
Boy, it's been a good while. Like, I've always been around music, like, pretty much all my life. So, boy, I don't even know how long it would be. I don't even know how long it would be. Like, I was in, like, year 8, like, spitting bars in, like, music room, like, trying to get a reload. like someone's playing, like, the maddest old school rhythm, and I'm here just trying to spit bars. So I don't even know how long it's been. It's been a while. Like, I've always been around music and always wanted to be around music. So, boy, just as long as I can remember. But when I started like giving it a go, I think it was around, like, when I was 16. When I was 16, so yeah, man, it's been a good while, like 16, 17 time.
Okay, and what kind of artist are you? What's your genre of music?
I'm a grime MC.
Grime, that's it. You don't deviate. You don't dabble nowhere else.
I'm not gonna say I don't dabble, but, like, for me, I always hate when I don't say I hate, but one thing that I never understand is, like, someone say, oh yeah, I'm an artist, but, like, I don't mind doing this. Like, it's like they're scared to put themselves in a box and say, yeah, I do this. Like, I can tell people, like, yeah, I am a grime MC. Like, I'm looking at people, like, I'll watch people and I say, bro, has he got bars or has he not got bars? Like, is he flowing or is he not flowing? Like, that is what I'm looking at. Like, but yeah, man, I definitely like other genres of music anyway. So, like, I rap. I definitely don't sing, not with this voice. Not with this voice. But yeah, man, I like all forms of music, but if I was to say what I do, like, I'm calling myself a grime artist. I'm a grime MC. That's what I am. You give me a rhythm with a DJ behind it at 140 BPM and give me a mic in my hand. I'm knowing what to do. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so what
inspires you to do music?
What inspires me? I don't know. Like, to be fair, like I said, I've always been around music. Actually, no. It's always been a number of things. So, like, I remember, like, so I was born in London. And I remember moving to Birmingham. Like, I moved to Birmingham and I always used to be around my brother's house. And my brother's in the sound clash culture. So, like, so, like, it's quite big in that. Like, he went to, like, the World Clash this year. And did good in that. So, like, I'd always be around there. And, like, it would always be, like, MTV bass on the TV. And, you know, just them type of things there. So you'd always see, like, Usher doing his thing, Nelly's doing his thing. And I remember, like, when we first got Sky, and, like, you know when you would have Sky, but then the Sky got cut off,
Yeah.
and you only have like certain channels.
Yeah.
Like so. Because like I had school on weekends, I would go to my brother's house. So that's the only time I could see MTV Base and them things there. So I remember here just flicking through the channels, and that's how I found Channel U. So I'm seeing guys like Wiley on there, seeing guys like Kano on there, like Gets on there, and Bear of a Man, and I'm just like, yeah, like I kind of like this kind of music more. So yeah,
fair enough.
So like I'll be at my brother's house trying to change the Channel U, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm just like kind of like this one more. But yeah, man. So that's been. Boy, I don't even know how long it's been since I've moved from London, but too long. But yeah, man, that's how I've been involved with music.
Okay. And since you've obviously you said, you started in London and you've been Brum, what if you had to talk about the music scene? Where do you think it's different in Brum to London? Do you think it's better here or better in London in terms of like grime and the genre that you do?
I'd have to say, I mean, it's a bit of a tricky one because like obviously you're like the whole grime culture started off in London, or it was first known in London, but then there's been like times where like the highs and lows, like there's been highs and lows of grime definitely, because you always have some that saying, oh, grime's dead, but grime's been made every year. But like there was a time when it was low where like the grime scene was just it was just like, I wouldn't say it's worst stage, but like there was a time where just like none of the big names were making any music, and then like kind of like the Midlands took over, and not even just the Midlands, just like places up north. So like you would have like Coventry, Derby, Manchester now, but especially the Midlands. Like in the Midlands, like they were like, almost like flying the flag for a while. So like they would have pure radio sets up here, like, and that's when you started hearing like the emergence of Socks and JK. That's when you like first to start like your very first impression of them, and you first start hearing them. So like the scene is a bit here and there, but I feel like it's with the grime culture, it's kind of like a very cult kind of culture. So it's very like you're either in it or you're just not in it. So like like it's very much of that. So it's very hard to say like how different it is from here and over there, because it's just like once you're in it, and like it doesn't really matter where you're from, just like how are you with it, like can you perform, because like even now we're starting to see people like from Nottingham and Leicester, and like not even places like even from major cities from like Manchester or Birmingham no more, but you're starting to see places like Stevenage, like guys like SBK and like other people are like now just going into different places and showing what they can do on grime. So yeah, man. So like it's not really, I can't say it's really different anymore. It don't really feel different anymore. Like everything just kind of feels kind of level. Like there is some differences, but I won't say they're too major. I can't say it's like it's too big of a hill not to get over, if you know what I mean. Yeah, man.
But do you feel like you kind of you could blow more in London, or do you feel like the scene in Birmingham, there's still room for people to make it?
There's still room, but that's not just down with grime culture, that's just with everything.
Okay.
That's just with everything, like, like London being the major city. That's where everything predominantly will be. But that only means that other cities like Birmingham and Manchester and Leicester and Nottingham and other places, we just need to start building the infrastructure where, like we can have our own things and we don't always have to go to London and travel down the flipping M42 and the M40 trying to, have to look over there and say, oh, look at what we're doing over here. We don't have to go down to London and do that. We can just try and build a parting over here and see how that happens, because I mean it's not impossible. It's not impossible over here. So for example, like I feel like in the UK scene, especially at the rap scene, there was a time where like people were looking at us like a lot more, like especially with like the emergence of Mist, RM and RK and a few other men that are doing it in Birmingham, and not even just in Birmingham, like I'm saying, just in other places where you don't have to just look at London as, even though it is the central hub and that probably will never change, but people don't have to look at it and just say, okay, well, we have to go down there and for things to happen, because it's just not like that anymore. Like a guy like H, for example. H has come from Manchester and just started doing a madness, like straight out of the gate. He dropped straight rhymes and never looked back. Literally never looked back. So yeah, man, we can do it. It's gonna take time, but what doesn't take time in this world, man?
For real. For real. So how long do you feel like it's taken you to get to the stage where you're at now in terms of music?
How long? a while, if I'm honest. Like, because you just like it's lessons that you have to learn and just things that you have to realize from what you need to do or what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Because the path that someone might go on might not be the same path that you need to follow for you to find success. So it's always just thing about finding your path. I feel like mine is slightly different because like especially in this day and age, like we're in an age where music's kind of quick. People are looking for the next big thing or like the next tune to get gassed up and get a vibe up. So you have to just kind of try and find your place and just see you in, like get in where you fit in and just try, you know, break the molding for what you can do. But yeah, man, I say it's been a long journey and the journey's not even done.
Of course.
Like if anything, like I said, I'm still at the start of the journey.
Yeah.
Like I'm still trying to maybe I'm guess lay some foundations, lay some groundwork. So yeah, man, I think I still got more to go.
So what do you think it's gonna take? Not necessarily you, but for what you do and artists like you to grow and to blow in this industry. Because if we look at a lot of other artists that do grime, they have the catchy hook or the catchy beat or whatever. But what do you think for yourself is gonna help you blow, or do you feel like you need to kind of see what they do and kind of not exactly mimic, but do some similar things?
Emulate.
Like, yeah, kind of like a similar hook, whether it's catchy or find a beat that everyone can vibe to, that can be played in a club or what?
That's a good question because like we've seen it where people from the past have tried to emulate what people before them have done, and then there's been people where they haven't done that and they've done just fine. So for me, I don't know, I think it's a bit of both. Like I always like to show homage to what I grew up on. So like, the Wileys and the Kanos and DWE, Gets P Monies of the world, that's all good. But like again, like I'm not Kano 2.0, I'm not P Money 2.0, I'm Legacy. That's who I am. So I've still got to do my own.
If you could speak to anyone who's just starting on music and trying to do grime, what would you tell them? From your own experiences of obviously coming through your trials and tribulations and getting to where you're at now, what would you tell someone?
Keep going. I know that sounds so cliche because everyone just says, keep going. But like, it's funny because like, grime culture, like grime is almost the thing. Like it feels like if grime wasn't here, then nothing would be here. Because like, you know, like for this, how can I call it? For almost like this Afro-ish wave to be here, like, you know, for before this drill wave was here, you know, it needed grime. Like, so when Meridian Dan made German Whip, it was almost like the UK scene was just like, it was murmuring, and then German Whip came out, which is a grime song, and then everyone just said flipping out, like, yeah. Then everyone started coming out of the blue, like J Hoss and Mo Stack and Bear of a Man, and and then things come out of that. So like drill's like a bit darker, even though it sounds so similar to grime. Like I laugh because like people say, oh, drill's not grime, and I'm just like, really? Like you could just get a drill rhythm and put it on a grime set, and it's like, it's really not that different. It's not that different. So yeah, like all you have to do is just you keep going. Like grime is almost seen as like this black sheep of the culture, where like people say, oh, like people ain't caring for grime no more, no one ain't listening to grime. Well, no, you don't listen to grime. That's it. Like, not the guy around the corner might still have tape packs of whatever and still listen. Like, you don't listen to grime, but that's absolutely fine. Like, just because it's not in the limelight, it's, don't know, like every year, every 2 years, it seems to have come back. Like, it's funny how everyone said how grime was dead, but we started off with flipping Stormzy and Wiley. Every year we hear something. Every year we hear something. Oh, no one ain't listening to that shit. Well, boy, he was listening to Still Disappointed though, and then still trying to give you a reaction to that. So yeah, like you just have to keep going. Like with drill and these other genres, they're not gonna have to go through the same thing that you're gonna have to go through because it's not accepted by everyone. Like with this Afro wave, like easy listening music, like you can play it around your mum, you can play it around your family. With drill, so what's in right now, like you have people like Pounds like making dance moves with it, like, so you know kids can get involved in this and that. Grime now is just this thing where people think it's just music talking about crime, knives, guns and whatever, and there's people that's broke the mode like JME who doesn't even have to mention such a thing, but it still has like one of the biggest followings in the UK. So yeah, or literally you have to keep pushing forward, like. And like I said, not trying to sound cliche because everyone says that, but like with grime it's different. because like you can just type in grime, and you know, like for example, do you know of like anywhere, like any radio station that says, okay, like yeah, there's a grime show on?
No.
Nah, you don't. You don't because people just like throw grime into like a rap show, or whatever, or a hip hop show. So yeah, like our trials and tribulations as a grime MC or a grime artist or as a genre is gonna be different. So yeah, you know what you bring to the table deep down within yourself. Bring it to the table, man, because there's gonna be at least someone out there that is gonna gravitate towards you and like you. That's the main thing.
Do you feel like it's gonna be harder for yourself to kind of grasp a massive audience because everyone's doing all these newer genres now?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Don't know. It's a bit of a hard question to fathom, if I'm honest, because I don't know. Like, you might have a fan by just you being on a feature, and that feature might not even be grime. Like, that feature might just be a rap thing, and you killed it, and like the guy just likes you from there. So like you can get fans from, you know, all corners. So it's a weird one, to be fair. Like some people might like you for you, some people might just like the song that you was on. So yeah, it's a hard question to answer, if I'm honest. Like I couldn't even give you an answer.
Because the only reason I ask is, like, for example, rap, like conscious music, like in a sense, people who like Tupac when he was alive, or you know, obviously you've still got people that do that kind of music now, but you don't really hear much from them with that do that sort of thing. For example, Dave says a couple conscious things every now and again, but then from what you predominantly know about Dave, it's not for the conscious stuff.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's not the thing that's mainly seen in the industries, but I wonder sometimes is because people don't really gravitate so much towards that type of music, is that why a lot of artists kind of deviate in between doing the drill and then that and this and that? So. That's why I asked.
I think so. Like, when we look back at it, like how many big artists now like came from grime? So you have like Wretch. But some people, like, I can't remember who I was saying it to, but I said, like, Wretch started off as a grime MC, and they go, you're chatting shit. And I said, really? I said, alright. I said, show them this, and they're like, bro, I can't believe it. Like, so you have, like, people like Wretch, Gets. Some people even say, is Gets really grime? And I'm just like, yeah, man, like, he does his thing. Like, there's so many big artists that have came through, like, the whole grime culture, and then they've just deviated and moved on to other things. Like, some people say it's because of money, which could be because like there was a time when, from what I knew, because like I didn't experience it, but I only like, you know, from a fan looking from the outside, where like grime wasn't paying, because grime wasn't the thing where it is now, where radio will happily play grime and this and that. Like, so some people did other tunes. So yeah, it's a bit it's a bit hard to gauge, and as well with the fans know, or the fans, they dictate it at the end of it, or they dictate what they want and what they don't want. But that's the majority anyway. But sometimes there's a minority that still want it. But just because it's a minority doesn't mean it's a small number. It could be a very big minority. That could be still like 500,000 people. Like that will still get you places. 500,000 people will still get you places. That shouldn't be a problem at all. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one, because like with now, like especially with like artists now, like they're independent. So like a lot of artists are independent. Not many are going to labels anymore. So you know, you don't have to have something like forced down your throat and listen to radio on the time. Sometimes you could just turn on the notification bell on YouTube and see your favorite artist doing that music you like. So yeah, it's a bit mad how the industry's gone. It's a very DIY industry now. Like you don't need this big label backing. Or people like, remember like years ago, people always say, yeah man, I'm gonna do this and get signed, and
you don't really hear a lot of people talking about getting signed now.
Yeah, because now you don't need to. Like now we have so many artists that have showed like how they've gone on an independent route, how they might use like a certain cameraman or a certain producer or a certain this or a certain that, and they're just doing what they want to do. They haven't gone to a label where they've had to sacrifice some sort of creative control and, you know, make them follow this diluted path into the charts. You don't have to. Like now you can just do what you want to do, and people will come to you, as we've seen it so many times.
I hear that. And do you think like as a growing artist, like you've just said, do you believe that you need to go to like, I don't know, like the GRM dailies and all these other platforms to be able to blow? Or do you think people can still make it just off their own back?
For me, I love. Don't get me wrong. I love them platforms, but you don't have to. You don't have to use them. You don't have to. Like, I feel like might be a lack of self belief. But some of them just want to go on there for, you know, the name of like shit. Like, it's GRM Daily.
Yeah.
Cause it's very nice, like saying, oh, I've got a video. It's out on my YouTube channel. Have a look. Or someone might say, listen, I've got a video. It's out on Link Up TV. Listen to that. Like, some people, like, as soon as they hear Link Up TV, GRM Daily, Mixtape Madness, like, you know, you hear the name and you're like, oh shit, must be big then. Let's go have a look. But now, like I said, we're living in a place where, like, I'm not gonna say they're not needed, because like them channels, they're embedded in the culture, in the whole UK culture. But like, if you really wanted to do it yourself and really wanted to like reap the fruits of your labor, then you can. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with you doing it yourself and reaping the benefits. So for example, like, we literally just had this conversation where like we'll have someone like spend like £1,000 in total. So it might be like a guy's paid £300 for a video, and then his might have tried to get in touch with like Link Up TV or GRM Daily, and they said, yeah man, it's like £400 to upload, so that's £700 gone. And then it might be just another £300 for whatever. Now, if you was to look at it differently, you could pay £300 for the video. Now, imagine instead of that £450 or £400 for the upload fee, imagine if you use that money there into promoting your music and just trying to do a little bit of reading, do a little bit of research, and see how you get playlisted or how you can apply for playlists. Imagine if you was to put all of that money into that, then you could definitely reap more of the benefits. Because like, if you put your things on like GRM Daily and Link Up TV, at the end of the day, they're not going to pay you for how many views it's going to get. I mean, don't get me wrong, if it does 1 million views, that's excellent, but you're not going to get paid off the 1 million views. They're going to get paid off the 1 million views. Now, you're hoping to see the back of that. So like, if someone likes it and they hear you on Spotify, you may not get 1 million streams, but you'll get streams. Some people from that 1 million views might go on and check more of what you're doing. Because some people, like I said, some people just, instead of not liking the song, some people just like you and what you're bringing. So some people might type in your name and say, oh shit, it's got a freestyle on whatever, let's look at this, and you might get views onto something else. But imagine if you says that, all right, I've got 1 million views on my own channel, I've made the money from that, and I've still retained some sort of customer fan base that can still go on to other things. So yeah man, like I said, we live in a culture where like there's nothing wrong with going on them channels, because especially with the name, like sometimes they're guaranteed to bring in views, and more views than you will eventually bring. But sometimes, if you was to start the groundwork from early, just keep working at it, there's no reason why you can't.
I hear that. Well, let's get into some more personal questions. At the moment, are you working, not working?
I'm working now because of coronavirus. Like, so from March until the 1st of this month, I was unemployed. So like, I was there. It's a good thing that I'm good with money, because like, I was here just like using my savings for whatever else. And yeah, like, even trying to look for a job in this current climate is ridiculous. Like, literally, like I was saying, like, it's like them man are not looking at qualifications. It's like them man have just closed their eyes and just put their name out of the hat and just said, yeah, in midfield, we didn't need him.
The people want to know, are you in a relationship?
I'm in a relationship.
Committed relationship. That's what I like to hear, man.
I'm in a committed relationship.
How long you been in a relationship for?
It's been 9 months now. Yeah, man. I'm happy. I'm to take it every day as it comes, and yeah, man, you enjoy life. But funnily enough, like, when you mentioned about the Instagram thing, it's funny because me and I had a conversation about that. Because like, I remember like when it was like early on in the relationship, it was like, oh, why you not posting? Are you scared of me? And I was just like, no, that's not the reason why. I was saying, but at the end of the day, like, I've shown you to the people that I've wanted to show you to. So you've seen my parents, and you've seen the man them, and you've seen her. Now, I'm not saying that I'm scared to post you, because that's not the case. It's just not the case. It's just not the case. Like, I'm not the type. I'm not the I rarely have a social media presence anyway. So like I'm not the type to say, alright, there guys, I'm going to the shop. Like I might post when I get a trim, and that's it. And that's it.
Hear that? Well, big shout out to Mrs. Legacy. Bang, bang, bang. So what is better for you? What is your end goal plan? So especially in terms of your music and with your personal life, where do you actually see yourself?
I am trying to be a musician. That's the end goal. The end goal is for me to be a musician. That's literally that. So like, yeah, I mean, a job's nice, but what I aspire to be is not working. I would like to work for myself in a way, because as an independent artist.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but that's the route that I want to go down.
And what steps are you taking to get towards that at the moment?
Working, just like when I say working, I mean like literally with the music. So like, you know, there's so many gems out there that you might catch up on, that, or you might listen to, that might even come effective in later life. So like, there's so many like little things that I've learned that maybe if you ask people, they're like, "Raw, I didn't think he took it like that." But I say, yeah, like I remember like speaking to like Socks, and Socks has like just dropped like one or two things like, oh, like sometimes in your tune, sometimes you should do this instead of this and this, and so, and he might not even see it as like big advice, but I take it as big advice because like he's been there and he's done stuff, and like people know him. I'd like to say on like and you know, just outside of the UK, like people know him on a global basis. Yeah. A lot of people do. And yeah, just like little things that you can take from people, incorporate it into your own, and yeah, you just keep working, try to move forward.
I hear that.
Definitely to inspire the generation younger than me, because like people always think I'm old. You thought I was some old man. Like I'm old. I
didn't think you was an old man. I just thought you was older than, like, a few more years older than me. Not like 1 year.
Nah,
older.
I'm only 24. I'm only 24. I've only turned 24 this year, and like. So like, yeah, I always get people saying, "Oh man, like, how do you do music? How old are you?" Bro, I'm 24. Like every time I work with people, so like big up Tricky, I know them man. Like sometimes I'll speak to S and I'll speak to Tricky, and I'll even speak to guys like Bliss who does predominantly like does my videos. Like they're all older than me. All of them are older than me. So sometimes being around them, just listening to life experiences, like it's good, man. Like.
I hear that. So what's coming next with your music then? I know you said you're doing singles, like, could you give us a bit more into that?
Yeah, so end of this month, I'm looking to...
Say that in the camera though, so the people them can...
Right, so at the end of this month, I'm looking to release a tune called Carve Your Own. It's got S14, and it's got Grits on there. That's what I'm looking to release this month. I should have a few feet... Boy, you know what, it's mad because I'm actually stacked up with features, but is if them man are putting it out in it. So like, if man need me for a verse, man know where to go. Like man could always holler me and I say, bro, if I like it, I'll give you a verse. That's it. There's no requirement. If I like it and I fuck with it, I'll give you a verse. It's that simple. And like, yeah. So hopefully we'll see some of them within the year. I want to plan to get out like another tune by like the end of the year. Hopefully this quarantine thing don't slow me down too much. But yeah, like I said, so like singles, I'm just gonna do it, you know, take it step by step. I'm not gonna really try to jump the gun and say, oh yeah, there's an EP coming here, there's an EP coming March, April, and you know I'm kind of pushed for time, or you know, because sometimes I might have to like take a tune off and put it on a tune, and yeah, so I want to take my time with it. Like at the end of the day, I want to make sure that whatever I'm giving the people, I have to, because at the end of the day, like before a fan has to be happy with it, I have to be happy with it.
Hear that. Well, you know what, Shannon, please play the first track. Let's hear this one.
Yeah, man.
Let the peoples get into it, man.
Yeah, man.
So that they can look for you and find you.
Legacy. Yo.
You gotta shout
I was
them
born in the
socials
cold where the
as
sun
well,
don't
man.
shine. In a place where we hustle and grind. Chances don't come around often, so we pace and never take time. There's Bearman with the life on the line, and there's no trust around here, pure lies. And life could be a whole lot better, but if I'm still breathing, I can't complain. But now I'm trying to find that locksmith, cause I haven't got the key to the door. And you can get left if you don't act right with the right side of your face feeling the floor. And you can get left with your jaw raw sore. A man told had they never seen me before. Salmonella MC, that's me, legacy. You can't find talent more raw. Lightweight bars, but you talk about heavy. That's ironic, and feds might stop me, but I know that you never see me face down on a car bonnet or handcuffed in the back of a car. Them man don't wanna see me get far. I went away for a year, but I'm finally ready. I'm ready when you are, believe me.
that's how you know you're hard at it.
I'm laughing because this is so long ago, man. This tune is so long ago.
You see your head.
Yo, that smile, you know.
Nah, because literally that tune there's called Born in the Cold. And that song was like the first song like I ever made. And I said, yeah, that's why I sound so young in it. So like, that was the song where I said, yeah, I want to take music properly. I think I did, when did I first make that? 2014? 2015?
Mad.
So like I've been to like bare open mics and I always open with that one bit. But because I ain't done nothing recent, because there ain't no performances, I ain't gone to no just hearing it back, like I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes when you hear something then you might cringe a little and just laugh at it. But have you ever like sometimes when you hear a song too much, like so for example,
you start to hear like little mistakes and stuff.
So sometimes sometimes like you've written the bar, you already know what the bar is, you've gone in there to record the bar, you've heard it back 1,000 times if you're happy with the take. Then you have to mix it so you have to hear it down again. You have to master it so you hear it down again. Then you have to send it up to DJs so once they're playing it, you hear it down, you hear it again. Then you have to perform it and you hear it, and I'm just like flipping now. Like sometimes I'm just tired of this. Like sometimes people play me music and I'm just like, bro, turn this shit off. Like I don't like hearing my voice sometimes. Like even though I'm proud of it, I'm just like, man, like my voice is just sometimes it annoys me sometimes, but yeah, man.
I think that happens with every artist though, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like everyone, you can drop a tune, you know it's hard. But then you're just like, do I even sound hard?
Yeah.
Because even when I do music, I'm like, I know this sounds hard.
Yeah, but you start doubting yourself.
Yeah. And there's literally no reason.
Yeah. It's a normal thing, man. It's a normal thing to start doubting yourself. Like I've done it too many times. But then like sometimes like I just look at a video on YouTube and I'm just like, yeah man, I've got this. Let me just keep on writing. So yeah man, I've got this.
Do you think you did that in 2004 and 2015?
Yeah, bro, it's that long.
And it's not even like, you know, when people sometimes they listen back to their music and they're like, oh, yo, I was dead back then, bro. So then you know, like, they've obviously progressed and got way better. Yeah. It's like, you've set a mad bar, like, from hearing that tune in it. Like, if you didn't tell me you dropped that in 2015, I would have thought that's you now, because that is hard. Yeah, but I'm like, yo, if that's you then, what are you saying now, bro? Like, what are you saying now? Like, the content you must be dropping now must be crazy. If that's the stuff you was talking about back then.
I don't know. Like, I always like to think that I'm, like, setting the bar higher. But again, that's not for me to say. It's down for the listeners to say. Because I can't say I'm setting the bar higher and everyone's around that's listening to me says, nah, you're not really still. So, like, I'm trying to push myself. But again, like, I need to know if I'm pushing myself from what the feedback is. When I do music, I always try to make sure that if it's not a message, then I am showing some sort of technical skill in there. Because sometimes I feel like people just rhyme words for no reason. People rhyme words for no reason.
And just put it to a hard beat because they know it's gonna bang.
Yeah.
So would you say you worst critic then?
What do you say?
Would you say you are your worst critic?
Yeah. Especially when it comes to when it comes to actually making the music. Yeah, but like everyone criticised me like for like social media presence or things like that, saying, "Oh, bruv, like listen, you need to take more time promoting this," which I do still, because like I said, sometimes I'm here, then I'm not here. Like sometimes I'll be there, and sometimes I might just switch my phone off and I don't want to talk to no one for like a week. But that's something that I've definitely got to work on. Like I know my flaws, which I guess is a good thing, because then, in that case, I know what I need to work on, and then I just start interacting with the listeners and people who support me a little more. But yeah, man, man.
And who would you say like are your number one fans? Like, is that from family, parents?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it just depends on the tune. Like sometimes I don't know. Like I like to think that I have a very honest. Like my friends are very honest with me. I would like to think so anyway. I hope they are anyway. I hope they are. I really hope they are. So, you know, if they tell me something's not it, then they're saying, yo, bro, like, this one is not it. But I can't say I have a number one fan. Like, I remember, like, years ago, like, my mum didn't even really want me to do music like that anyway.
Is there any reason why?
She was just like, oh, listen, you're educated. Why didn't you just go, like, be a doctor or something? And I'm just like, I don't really want to.
Typical thing,
I was like, don't, like... It sounds nice, but I'd rather like inspire the generation another way. Like I remember it was at parents' evening, and someone says, "Oh, you know, he would be a really good teacher." And I was just like, "Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a teacher because you can inspire a generation, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can teach a generation this." But I said, like, I could also teach a generation through music, like, and through what I'm going through, and say, "Look, listen, I was here and I was in this space, but now I'm in this space and I'm doing good things and I'm doing great things, and I want to teach you like this is the route that I've taken. My route might not work for you." But just find the route within yourself and take that path, and you know, hopefully you'll get to where I'm gonna be, or where I'm looking to be.
I
So,
hear that.
yeah, man.
I hear that, man. Right.
Yeah,
We should vote for you to be president of that, man. President of the music thing, man. Yo.
It's funny, man.
You are saying some convincing things, man. You got me thinking, should I do Grime now or something now?
So yeah, man.
So what would you say the best decision to make is for like people like yourself? So for example, you're working like every day, but you obviously you want to pursue your music, but you know you've got to fund it. Or thinking work is stopping me from actually reaching my full potential in music because I don't have the time. So what would you say is better? To continue grafting as much, like you've said, graft to fund it, or get yourself the time and then figure it out like with all the time there?
Well, it's a tricky one because like within music, like because when we talk about music, we just solely think as an artist, and there's not just artists that are within this. The music business in the entertainment business, and in the entertainment business, it's not just musicians there. So you might have like photographers, videographers. You might have like actresses, actors that want to do these things, and with like I don't know if I'm being ignorant, but sometimes I feel like I think anyway that it might be easier with a photographer or the videographer. The only reason why I say that is because when it comes to things like promotion, I feel like promotion is quite easy compared to like doing something like a musician. I feel like with when you're looking at something like a photography or videography, the money will come in much easier than if you're a musician, because you know you're working with a client and you're giving them whatever they're asking for, whether it's a video or photos, and you get paid from it. So in that case is maybe like you could maybe go part-time in whatever job you're doing and just try to ease yourself, and maybe the process from you easing yourself out of that job is going to be so much more easy than a musician, because at the end of the day, if you are a musician and you know you are doing whatever, then you're putting time into studio, you're putting time into a video, you're putting time and money into promotion, and you're putting money into all these different avenues, and even though you might get money back, it's nothing going to be to what you've taken out. Sometimes I feel like with videographers, even though, don't get me wrong, money will come out of your pocket, money won't come out of your pocket on a constant level. Yes, it might be things like maybe petrol or things like that, but with a musician I would think that, you know, money is still coming out of your pocket with petrol. But so it's the same for studio, with promotion, with videography, photography if you need a photo shoot done, different things like that. I mean, I could be ignorant. Might be my own ignorance. So like, if someone wants to sit down with me who's within those different aspects and like talk and see like, you know, who's the biggest victim, then we can. But yeah, I feel like that's how I see it anyway. But as a musician, I would be ignorant to tell someone, listen, drop your job and just try to do music full time. Because if you try to do music full time, that doesn't mean it's gonna work out for you. It doesn't, because like your music can just sometimes fall on deaf ears, and that's not to say you're not good enough. Sometimes you could just be unlucky. Sometimes you could just have a run of bad luck. Like there's definitely, I can most definitely say there's people now within the West Midlands, within the UK, that should be bigger than what they are. Most definitely. Like I look at people like Lady Sanity, like I always mention her name. I look at people like Tricky. I look at people like Shogun Sensei. Look at people like Maddie Saskia. Like I look at so many other people and I say, flipping her, like you should be bigger than what you are. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is a process. So just keep working and just make sure that you are committed to what you're doing. 'Cause at the end of the day, yes, I mean you do have a 9-to-5 job, but I'm guessing if you're doing music, then you're not just doing that 9-to-5. Then you don't want that 9-to-5 job to be you want a career rather than a job, if you know what I mean. So like a job would be, you know, you being a supervisor or manager of a store. Your career, you want it to have a music career. So that's what I would say from that.
So let's talk other artists.
Mm.
So is there any UK artists and US artists, or UK and outside of the UK artists, that you'd really love to work with, and why?
It's not artists. I don't really working with artists. Like, it's funny because I don't know if it's me, but sometimes I look at the producers more than artists. So like, there's definitely producers that I want to work with.
Okay.
Because like sometimes like I just like hearing beats. I guess we got to split this into, because there's a bunch of producers that I'd like to work with.
Go ahead.
There's a bunch of artists that I'd like to work with. So like, producers wise, like I look at people like Heavy Trackers. Heavy Trackers are they're like a production duo, no trio, and they released their album. They've released an album, and like, so released the album called Odyssey. If you have not heard the album, listen and take note of the album. Like, star-studded lineup. So you got like Big Tobes, P Money, Deneo, JME. Who else have you got on there? I think Young's Teflon is on there, and it's literally them. Just production value is amazing. Thomas Mello, I've been a big fan of Thomas Mello for so long. Filthy Gears, Swifter. Who else? Those are the. Sir Spyro. Sir Spyro, I think, is easily one of the coldest producers. Rude Kid. There's a bunch of producers that are out there that I just like. I like their sound. Like, all producers have their signature sound, and I like the signature sounds that they're coming with for different reasons. Thomas Miller might have that. That is kind of dark, neo type of grime sound. Even though it doesn't sound like grime, it's quite emotional. Like it evokes emotion from the rhythm. Sir Spyro just sounds kind of experimental, but I like them for different reasons. Artists, there's even artists in Birmingham that I still want to work with that I haven't. So like Ashley Zill's one of them. Like, have you heard of Ashley Zill?
No.
Bad boy singer, I'm sure you. Bad boy singer. But he's really he was on one of my favourite tunes last year.
What tune's that?
Called Don't Lie. With No, it's not called Don't Lie. It's called something else. He's made a tune called Don't Lie. I can't remember the tune. I'm gonna show you the tune.
Yeah.
It's with two other guys, and they've released a video for it. And I was just like, blood, this is one of the favourite tunes. Ashley Zill, Cold. Lady Sanity is Cold. She's a rapper from Birmingham. She's won a GRM Rated award not too long ago.
Okay.
Like 2 years ago. So sick. So sick. Like, she is really trumping this independent route. Like, if you want to look for an independent route, look at her. From Birmingham. I think I'm just forgetting names. I must be forgetting names right now, but I always look at them two. Like, them two are cold. UK, if it was to have like a dream, like, collab of who I could work with, P Money's up there, Gets is up there easily. Wiley's up there. Wiley's always been up there, just from like, for me, like, I feel like if I never heard Wiley, like, don't even know if I would even do grime. I'm being totally honest. Like, Wiley's been so influential to like my whole music career. Definitely, like, without Wiley, I don't know if I would do grime. I can easily say that. JME is someone that I've always wanted to work with. I think what he brings to the table is like I said, like, his fan base is very like cult based, but it's very like a very driven, loyal fan base. And yeah, man, like, I can't say that I wanna really work with much people, but that doesn't mean I'm not fans of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I'll listen to people and I'm just like, his music's sick, but I don't think that me and him would be a
gel
good
on the
fit.
tune.
I don't think me and him would be a good fit, but I think he's sick. So yeah, man, I think, like, that's how it is. And US, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really listen to US music. Not like that anyway. I normally just keep it within the United Kingdom.
So say, for example, if there was ever like a rapper, for example, who heard you on a grime beat, but then was like, yo, I want to work with you, but they do hip hop, would you try to make it work, or is it a case of?
No, I would try. Like, I can write rap, so just because I'm not a rapper doesn't mean I can't rap. I'd write rap. We'd have to just find some sort of common ground. That's all it is. Yeah. That's literally all it is. We'd have to just find some common ground, because like there's always some like there's always like a tune with like two guys, and you're just like, I didn't think them two would make such a good tune as they would. Like I remember like when I first heard Jave and Dehus with Dave and J Hus.
Man said Jave.
Jave. They got Jave. Right. With Dave and J Hus with Samantha, and I thought, I didn't think like I would like this song as much as I did. Like, so that's like, like you'd always think like-minded people would work with like-minded people, or like-minded sounds would work with like-minded sounds. So like I would normally put Dave with like working with like someone like Avellino as, you know, them, even though they've got a tune together, like you would think that that would be it. But man, just come to a compromise, and you know, sometimes the compromise will work out better than just saying, okay, listen, I've got a rap tune here, it's got to be a rap beat, bro. What we saying? So yeah, man, I'm down to work, man.
Man. I might have to shout for my own music, you know.
I'm there. Like I said, as long as I like it, fam. As long as I like it, I'll work with it.
You know, after this, you know what I mean, just find a beat, fam, and we'll jump on it, innit? Kill it.
That's it. That's literally it.
Kill it, bro. Don't worry about that. Yo.
Yeah, man.
Kill it, man. Because after I'm hearing that, and what I'm excited to hear what's next. Shannon, please play the next tune, man.
Yeah, man. So this one's called "Love You So." This one came out 3 years ago. Production. Produced by Riddler Productions in Nottingham, called featuring Silence.
Let me introduce myself, I'm Legacy. If you're finding it hard to remember, then call me the man to turn your life around. Whichever you find easier. I've been looking at you for so long, it's rude if I didn't speak to you. So how you been? You look good. How's the family treating you? How's your boyfriend keeping you? What you mean you don't have a man look at you? I find that hard to believe, but it's harder to walk past a face like yours. In a few minds I'm torn, cause I don't know what I like more. There's something about you that ticks all boxes. You would have thought I was trolling forms. You're giving me so much thoughts. But let me stay on course. Looks like I found a gem in a Gemini. So right now it's Mr. Man on a mission. And I'm better than the other guys, but I'm not racing. There's no competition, so you need to listen. You see, you wouldn't be wise to play about in this pond, cause you can reel me in close if you hear just senseless fishing.
Keep your eyes on the prize, I'm a lockdown. Yeah, ride a tie on your side, I'm a lockdown. Damn, no one could ever compare to you. You keep on running around. Oh, na. I just love you so.
So my eyes are only for her now. I take time so I don't get it wrong. So
man said, I think I found a gem in Gemini. That's a line, you know.
Yeah, fam.
That's a
that
line.
That one there. I can't lie, I was proud of that one. Like that beat there. I remember I just asked Riddler and I said, bro, send me a bag of beats. And he sent me that one and I said, bro, this is one of the coldest beats I've ever heard. Because like that sample, everyone knows that sample, innit? But no one's ever flipped it like the way I've heard that. And I said, raw, that there is mad. So I said, yeah, like I've got to work with that one. And the video was done by Catalyst Studios. Pick up yourself, hope you man are doing alright over there. Yeah, man, so that one, I think that was like the most expensive project like I ever did. Like getting actors in, hiring out a venue. I'm not even in the video. I'm not even in the video. Like, I'm in the video for. I didn't really want my face in there. I just want it to be a thing where like it tells the story rather than me being in there. So like I think I'm in there for like a second and a half or like half a second, literally. Like if you find me, good luck. I'm being serious. Like good luck if you find me. I think I'm literally there sitting on a stool and I'm chilling for like 1 second. But yeah, man. So bro. That was good times, man. Good times.
Yo, tell the people where they can find that one, man.
Yeah, so that one is on YouTube. That one's on Vivo as well. Legacy, Love You So, featuring Cyan. That one's on Spotify as well. That one's on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, or digital platforms. Literally, Legacy, Love You So. You can find me on all your social medias as well at Legacy the Artist. No spaces, no capitals, and that's literally on everything. That's literally even on PS4. So if you want to jump on Warzone, you can get me. Like if you type in Legacy the Artist on something and it's not there, I don't have an account. So Facebook, SoundCloud, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, man, that's what I'm on.
Hear that, man.
Yeah, man.
So where did the name Legacy come from then? I'm curious.
It was in school. I was in English class, and me and everyone was just in there, and the teacher was just asking like, "What do you want to do? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Like, I can't remember what happened for that conversation to start, but we were saying like, "Yeah, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And someone says, "Oh, I want to be this and I want to be that," and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I just said, "You know what? I just want to leave a legacy. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do." And then that name just stuck. And from there, I just said, "Well, boy, you know what? No one else," because I looked and I said, "Right, is anyone calling themselves Legacy? Let me just double check and just see if that's all right." And I think there's some guy in the US calling themselves Legacy, and I was just like, "All right, cool. Well, yeah, Legacy it is."
So have you done like shows and that yet? Or
I've done. Obviously, we done the
yeah.
some time ago. Shows, not really. I mean, sometimes you'll find me at open mics. Sometimes I'm not. Well, a lot of times I'm not there, but sometimes on a random one, Bliss might call me and says, "Yo, you want to roll to this thing?" Come, I'll pick you up, and we'll just go. So like, there's a bunch of open mics that I used to go to. I don't know if they're still running now because of quarantine or what else. But like, you had something called Dope Vibes. You had Andre Soul with Talented Tuesdays.
Oh
I
know about that.
Used to be there all the time. Literally, sometimes I wouldn't even perform. I would be there kicking back and just watching people perform and just seeing people, because like, that's how. I think that's how a lot of people know me anyway. Just from me being there, not even performing, but just from me being around. And yeah, so, and then just like a few other open mics. I remember I did one in Sarah's and Trillery Banks was there. Did a performance at the Old Rep Theatre. I think that's the biggest one I ever did. And I was on the bill was Sideman All Day. Yeah. So like, I remember like he's got. I think I took the picture. He's got a picture with him and my little sister.
So, are you gonna start trying to put on your own shows now? Because like we said in the beginning, there's not a lot for grime artists.
Yeah.
So
like,
how are you gonna get yourself out there when there's not really a lot of people that are willing to push you? Are you willing to do it yourself?
I mean, there's something that I want to do. I don't want to really speak too much about what I want to do, because I feel like someone's going to take the idea.
Yeah.
But I feel like my profile needs to be a lot bigger first before I start doing it. But it just definitely involves me doing a hell of a lot of travelling, and me getting like a camera crew or someone with a camera and paying them for the journey and paying them to record it. But yeah, that's something I want to do. Something within Birmingham. To be fair, there's something that there's a guy or a company that that's doing something with grime, but they're very underground. I don't know if they're doing venues. But yeah, do you know? I just have to see if people would want it. If I was like here doing a venue, like, would people actually want it? Because like, you might see something where like, oh, this is happening, or like, oh, a cypher's happening, where the cypher is just a rap cypher. Then they play like one grime instrumental for like 3 minutes, and then they jump back to rap. So I don't know, like, if we want to do like an actual grime show or actual grime like event or grime set, I think I will do like a grime set. Like, if I had something like saying, oh, the release of an EP, and like I talked to Hot 92 or New Star Radio or, you know, a radio station, and see if we can try to sort that out, then yeah, I'll be happy with that. Or if I even just take up myself and go to Pirate Studio, and just carry a bag of man and just like sort out the sound, get mics in, get a camera crew, and we'll just try to sort it out there. So I don't know, we'll have to see. But like I said, like with me, I'm just trying to stick towards music. I would love to give ideas and like input ideas, but like my name doesn't really need to be mentioned for credit. Like, I'm not really here for credit. I mean, if you can, it's fine. I'm grateful, but yeah. I know what I'm here to do, and my aim is to inspire through my words, not really by the actions of like throwing on events and man.
Because I feel like the demand is there, man. Because even myself trying to put on just performances now, like I know there's not a lot for especially hip hop artists. There isn't a lot. For like people that do Afro beats and that sort of thing, there's loads.
I would slightly disagree still. I feel because I feel like because it's so more socially accepted, like because hip hop could be anything. Because hip hop could be anything, so I feel like that's easy. And like because with hip hop, like you're not speaking so fast. Sometimes the beats they're easy listening beats. Sometimes you could even like, let's say if you go to an open mic and you might just see like a young couple and their son just chilling there. Sometimes they're there, and sometimes they might get in the groove of like like rap or hip hop. But like if you go in there and go in grime, so like you got this big banging bass, sometimes no one doesn't want to hear that. So
you know what it is? What I see, it's like I can see loads of open mics, and grind. You see people there, but you will never. From my personal experience of what I've seen, I might be wrong, but from what I've seen, you don't really see as much people at a hip hop event that you see at a grime or drill or Afrobeat or any of them other events. You don't see it packed. You go to a grime one, you see what mosh pits. That's what you know what I mean. But you go to hip hop one, you don't really see a lot of people there.
Yeah, it's because wait, are you talking like when you say are you talking about ones that are thrown on or ones from like big artists?
Either or, really.
If we're talking like big artists, then I would say because the culture's different. Because with grime is technically not hip hop. Because hip hop is derived from America. Hip hop's derived from America, and they put on beats and they do this and do that. Now with grime came from garage, and garage is almost like grime came from garage, but grime has a fusion of so many other things. So it has like your dancehall culture. So we're here weeding up rhythms, and we're here doing like one drop. Shani, you know about the one drop? Yeah. So, yeah. So like in grime, like you're seeing a lot of man doing like one drops, and big up whoever knows what a one drop is. But you see like a lot of men doing that. But then you have like, so we have another part where we've taken like from like rock culture where like they're doing mosh pits. So like when the bass drops, like man are doing mosh pits. Like so, it's a bit of a fusion of a lot of things. So yeah, I feel like it's because the culture's different, especially when you're looking at the big artists. Now with the smaller ones, like let's say if the one that are within Birmingham, I feel like that's just down to how it's being promoted. I feel like that's simply just how it's being promoted and who's promoting it. So because like if there was a hip hop one, and I don't know if any hip hop. I don't even know who would be a hip hop artist from over here. Or let's say just strictly within Birmingham. I don't even know.
Exactly. But I guarantee you could tell me 10,000 grime, drill, all of that with hip hop.
I might be biased though because I'm just a grime artist, innit? I might be biased. I might just be biased within saying that.
But then I'm a hip hop artist, but I don't.
I hear that.
You get me? I don't see it. But I guarantee if I was like to my brethren, there's a hip hop motive.
Okay, so let's say if it was rap. So let's say it was rap. So let's say we've got Miss there, we've got Stardom there, we've got Arcade there, we've got RM there. Let's just say it was a rap showcase, and we just took Birmingham talents. We got Remtrix there, we've got them man, and we've just got them there. I feel like the vibe would be different if it was just a bunch of grime guys going, because like yes they might do a little thing because grime culture is so big where like some things are taken, so like mosh pits and that, and you might see that within the rap show, like it's still going to be a bunch of gal in there, bunch of this, bunch of that, bunch of that. Like it's still going to be, you can still tell the differences and the similarities from like if it was like a grime showcase, for a strictly grime showcase, because a lot of men use the name grime and like associate it to rap artists, which pisses me off because like that doesn't make any sense. So like someone will call J1 a grime artist. J1's not a grime artist. Like so, like I feel like that word gets thrown around too loosely. But if we're going to say grime artist 140 BPM, not strictly, but 140 BPM, man have a mic in the hand, doing lyrics, it's gonna be different from whatever a rap showcase would be. That's what I think anyway. So yeah, man. How would it be? But again, a lot of things is just down to promotion, and I think that's what we lack in Birmingham. I think we lack hope hope. Like we're quick to dismiss something, and like so someone might say, oh yeah, it doesn't have to be like a show. It could be like, oh, there's a party going on there. And I ain't going. That party's gonna be dead. Like a man is just quick to dismiss because I've done it. I've dismissed it, and I've just said, nah, like party's gonna be dead. I ain't going.
And then it turns out live or something.
It might turn out, it might turn out live, but you've missed out and you didn't know because you didn't go. So I feel like that's it. And just the promotion, I feel like we have to get our promotion right because I feel like it almost seems like we, like beside London, we were like the main city. But then, like, Manchester's just come up now, and they've just started to go on with a madness. Even though there was man in Manchester already, like how there's man in Nottingham and how there's man in Leicester. But it feels like Manchester have just come up and just started to do bits, or Manchester artists have started to do bits. And I feel like we haven't adapted enough, or we haven't taken what we should have taken from the lessons that we saw in other cities and apply it to us. Like even things like radio stations and how they might say, oh, we look to promote the next big Birmingham talent, but all you're playing is like JK or Stardom. You're not playing the guy that says, listen, hi, my name's da 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 da, I'm from here, I do this. I've made a song last week, really hope you would play it. Some man don't want to take that risk, and some man don't want to do that. They'll just rather play like what's popping now. And I feel like that's a problem within Birmingham.
Like having like a little safety net and a little safety zone. People don't really want to go outside.
That's it. A safety net. So like even if you was to even have a segment on your show, like let's say if it was like an hour show, even if you was to have a segment and say, listen, the next 15 minutes we're gonna call this like next gen, and here are the artists. We're gonna choose some artists. There might be. Don't get me wrong. Not everyone that's gonna send a song is gonna get a part. But I mean, if you are really committed into playing a part, then let's say if you're on once a week, then you could just choose and decide who you want to play on the 1 week and who you want to play on the next week and the week after. It's that simple. So 15 minutes you dedicate it to these 3 artists or 4 artists, maybe 5 if you can squeeze 5 in there, and maybe even do just the odd interview. That's it. Like all you need is a little hope and a little faith. Like because there's definitely man. Like when I first came in this music thing, like there were so many men that wanted to do music and were good in music, and they've just left. They've just left and said, "Oh, bro, music, I ain't doing this, bro. Like it's long." So yeah, man. Might be a guy that's just done a P110 and just mashed up the P110 and released 2 tunes, and his profile's rising. And you don't want to play him, but you only want to play him when he's doing the tune with JB Schofield and do a collab with Mist. And like, yeah, man, sometimes you have to be there from the jump. Still.
Do you think it's like a cultural thing though? Or?
A little bit, and I just think I think it's a thing about a safety net. So, for example, like I released a tune called VAT with Tricky.
Yeah.
Big up Tricky. Released the tune. I sent it out to literally everyone I could, and no one played it. I didn't get no response, so man didn't even play it. Okay, cool. Not in Birmingham anyway. But got on BBC Radio. You got on BBC Radio, and I was gassed. Got on BBC Radio. I was flipping out. But then I said, well, boy, you see how it is. Like people want to play it safe and just play the soft artists. And even though the BBC could take the risk and play these artists that they've never heard of before and might just like a song. I mean, you could take the risk as well. I mean, there's no harm. There's literally no harm in you just trying to take that extra leap because you don't know what leaps and bounds it's gonna do for 1 yourself and 2 the artist. You never know.
Yo, Shannon, I want to play the next tune, man.
Yeah, man. So this one's called VAT. Featuring Tricky.
Oh, this is the one that got played on BBC.
This is the one. Yeah, bro. This is my favorite song I ever made. No, keep this running. Don't get me. Whatever comes out. Yeah, turn this up in headphones.
Don't already spoon legacy. Tricky, I don't wanna ruin my legacy. Reload with a no flow in the dojo. 2-2s now I'm in the booth with legacy. And 2-2s now I'm in the booth with Tricky. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lego and Tricks. Man, when they ask me who this, could I realise that they can never hear a bar like this. And I've been away for a bit, but man, I'm gonna dump when I start spray a bar from the hip. But man can't violate me, give us up for your bust down. You better watch your wrist. And you better watch your lip, better watch your chick. She's watching tricks, watch this. Watch when I'm breaking it in, don't be taking a pic. You can't play tricks on tricks. Don't watch me, I'll poke your iris out. Can't get used when I rip out, I'm all get used when I flip out. Straight up and down like addition symbols and take the minus out. This flow's murky, best flow hands down like 6:30. You don't wanna verse me, show no mercy. Gal try curve me, then they move thirsty. And man pretend like they don't know legacy, but they wanna learn and rehearse me before they do judge try curse me. I stay grounded, I'm earthy, but certain gal they try burn me. But is she worthy? This one a Q1 like 430. Tryna get rich done before I turn 30. Hopefully early, man I gone far. Chipped in for equipment, tryna get rich in my dogs, but that didn't get very far. When I fed them March, I was tryna get rich in my car. If you want cookie, come take a dip in a jar. Yeah, we go hard, and them man are soft. Your basic boss can't touch us. Yeah. Lego and tricks, bar for bar, anything get cook up. How come black history so boss up? Man, I brainwash from the power that's above us. They love the culture, but they don't love us. You don't love yourself and you're ruckus. These don't too blind to see the blood suckers. If offense is taken, and just keep quiet, car. I don't wanna hear talk about buckers, cause I find out whose yard I'm going to. I'm away back up, had me at 0-2. Man, better give me back the money that they owe me to. And don't try and be courageous and have heart, cause you can have a long drop like 0-2. Hardest out, I'm gonna show you. Hold on legs, can I go through? Go through. When you spit bars, I miss nothing but O2. I just wanna fill out the O2. Anti-flish, yeah, that's my bro too. Trick up my sleeve, I guess that's old news. Hold on, if I don't know you, please don't feel like I owe you, sorry. You don't want drums like Curry, you can't make me slow down like Bobby. It's obvious I'm gonna win, like I'm wrestling with a dead body. I'll make these carbon copies turn corpses the way how them man bar is so boring. No passion, no heart, they don't go all in. But when Gellets ain't deep, they're already all in. A man push the gun fingers in the air, cause I do this for the ones with shift work in the morning and the ones that shift work in the morning. Boss on beats, I go hard on beats. Shut down, wheel up beats. Man don't gas on beats. Talk smack on beats and you might get slapped on street. So show man takers, all my guys go getters. We ride out all weathers, man I get peppered. So if I get booked I'd value added techers. Boss on beats, I go hard on beats. Man I shut down, wheel up beats. Man don't gas on beats. Talk smack on beats and you might get slapped on street. So show man takers, all my guys go getters. We ride out all weathers, yeah man I get peppered. So if I get booked I'd value added techers.
Even shouting in the back, get gassed! Yo, I can see man in the corner getting gassed. Yo, that is hard, man.
Yeah, that's easily my favourite tune I've ever made, fam. And the way how it came about was so weird. It was so natural that it was weird. Like, it was me and Tricky literally sitting down in like Asda car park, right in the bars, bro. Right in the bars. And like, we wouldn't even plan it. So like, normally like when you hear a back to back, you'll say, okay, we're gonna do it 8 bar or 16 bar each. But we said, all right, cool. Listen, you're gonna do it 8 bar. I'll say, well, I'll write 2 bars. You do a 4 bar. I'll do like 12 bars and then you come back with a 4. I'll do a 16 and it was mad. That's literally how it worked. And then we calculated at the end and we both had like 48 or 50 bars each somehow. And we didn't even mean to do it. It was just like, yeah, easy, big up Tricky. Like easily the best tune that I've made, that I've been a part of, easily. And big up Nickel as well, production, because he was doing bits. Like the way how I found him was so weird. Like I think I was just, what was I doing? I think I was just surfing the net. And I found this beat, and I was just like, yeah, I'll purchase it. I'll do something with it. Then I looked more into like his what his past work's done, and he's worked with like Crep Protect, and like Crep Protect's done an ad with like DJ Khaled. And they've used his beat, and then like you know the Top Boy soundtrack.
Yeah.
He's produced the first song, "Riding on E" by Nate Smalls. He's produced that with JD Engineer. Big up him as well. And yeah, so yeah, crazy man.
That's mad, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you need to come up with more music still. You can't just leave us with that, yeah. It's like I was saying, the first tune I didn't hear in that.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, you can't. You need to drop more bangers, man. You need to.
No, I'm due to. But
man, this conversation's been deep, man. I think this is like the most in-depth interview I've really had with anyone, you know.
Yeah, man. Because I've watched all of them. So I've watched the one with Slink, watched the one with Claymore. I've watched it with the guy before. I can't remember the guy was before me. What was his name?
Kazidus.
Yeah. I watched that one. Yeah, because like I've always wanted and always liked these interviews because like Hearing things from my perspective, it's a perspective that's not known or it's not talked about because everybody just calls everyone a grime artist. Everyone just thinks that, oh, if you do this, you will get here, and life don't really work out like that. So because that's our plan with doing these interviews, giving everyone who's in a sense underground and underrated, giving them the opportunity to speak. Like, everyone needs the opportunity to make it. Yeah, man.
Just because just because there's not a lot of people doing grime now, doesn't mean you should think, you know what, I can't jump on an interview. Bro, do it. But before the show ends, is there anyone you want to shout out? Anything you want the people to know about yourself that I haven't had the chance to say? Because
no, man, just I'll be just music will come soon. Just stick around, man.
So I just want to give out a massive and special shout out to all the sponsors: Breakthrough Music, New Star Radio Station. Also want to give a big shout out to the ACMC for letting us use this wonderful building that we do record in. And then from my own business, Grizzy Entertainment. And obviously another massive shout out to Legacy, the man of the hour, for taking the time out to come here, answer the crazy and funny questions that we've actually had for him. And anybody else, if you're interested in being on the show, please get through to my socials, which is either Grizzly Entertainment or my actual personal Instagram, which I'm most likely going to use, which is shakur.aaron, which is shakur.ayron. Don't ask me why I use that name, I just use it because I don't really want to use that my real name for work purposes and so forth. So yeah, and if anything, shout out Breakthrough as well. The socials should be on the TV and be edited into the video. So yeah, man, see you guys at the next video.